Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Denali and I'm a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. And this is a series where I sit in my car and I talk about things that are timely in my life and business. So today I am reporting to you from the new parking lot at my new office. I usually film at the warehouse parking lot, but it's a new month and it's a new time. So really exciting. I wanted to update you all because I actually can't even remember where I left off in my last video, but I wanted to update you on the move. So the move has begun. I gained access to my new unit officially on March 1st, and I have to be out of the warehouse on March 31st. So what does the process look like so far? Well, the first weekend in March, we rented a U-Haul, and I would love to tell you that I had everything packed up nicely with a little bow on top, ready to be loaded onto the truck and brought over here. I'd also love to tell you that I'd gotten rid of everything I needed to have gotten rid of. Sadly, I cannot tell you that today. So the week leading up to getting the truck, I was just panicking and in a mad dash to just get as much stuff as I could into bins. I didn't need to get boxes because I had lots of empty storage bins, which is great. That came in handy. But I was panicking to just get as much as I could in bins so that we could move it over here. And my employee also helped me with this. They have been extremely helpful during this time. Super grateful for that help. And by the weekend, we got the truck, and my husband and my son for a little while helped us, but my husband for the whole day helped us load everything into the truck and drove it back and forth, loading and unloading items. And we did that for about 6 hours. I think 6 hours, 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours. I honestly can't remember now. I think we had the truck for 6 hours and we returned it like a little bit early just because the unit was starting to get really full and things needed to be unpacked. Now, I already knew ahead of time that this was not going to be the only time this month that I rented a U-Haul. I knew that there would at least be 2 trips in my future, 2 rentals in my future of moving things in and out. And so, just getting my train of thought here. So after the first move in of everything that weekend, I have been unpacking stuff and trying to get it organized as best as I can because this is a much smaller space. Again, I'm going from 2,000 square feet to just under 600 square feet. And if you haven't seen any of the videos I've done in the last 6 months where I explain my whole reasoning and process for moving, the short answer of why am I downsizing or why am I moving to a different space is because a few different reasons. 1, my 3-year lease was up and I didn't want to renew there. 2, I was just looking for a different type of space. I didn't want to continue to stay at the warehouse. It just wasn't my dream location anymore. And 3, I just wanted to downsize my business. I had a lot of fun these past few years in having a really big business. But ultimately I grew out in kind of a necessity. And what I've realized is I like having a smaller business. So there's just like the shortest version I can give you of why I moved, because I know people ask that every time I talk about it. So now that we're in this smaller space, I had to purge a lot of items and I'm just having to make things work. And I certainly have not downsized as much as I need to. And, if I look at this reflectively, I would have started that process even sooner than I did, but hindsight is 20/20. So now I still have items at the warehouse. There's some stuff that I will bring over to fit into this unit. And then additionally, which I already anticipated, is there is a storage unit in my future, in my very, very near future. So I've already put in a reservation for, I think, a 300 square foot unit. And the cost of the storage unit plus my new rent is still so much cheaper than what I was paying for the warehouse. So that's really exciting that just my cost will be much lower. And the storage unit, is obviously month to month. So that's something that once I'm done with it, I can just get rid of it and I don't have to continue to have that. So in the next couple weeks or in the next week, we'll be getting another U-Haul to get the rest of the stuff out of the warehouse and into the storage unit. And once that's all done and I've kind of cleaned up the warehouse, even though it was not left clean for me when I first got it, It was really bad. That's a story for another day. If you have not heard it, I will clean it up. And because I want my deposit back, though, I don't know, how often do people get their deposits back? When I was a landlord for a period of time, I always gave people their deposits back for the most part. Yeah, because, you know, it's just like, whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I was too nice. But anyways, so what has this process really looked like? It's not been fun. And again, if you've been here for the journey, one, thank you. I appreciate you for kind of sticking by me during this time, because it's just been a different type of content for me. And two, it's been painful. I mean, mentally and physically. Physically, just the toll on my body. I am 40 years old now. I'm starting to feel a little 40 in the body. But additionally, mentally, it's just been exhausting. It's just been exhausting. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. And sometimes, actually a lot of times, in addition to being exhausting, it's extremely overwhelming. When you're a small business owner, it doesn't matter if you have, I mean, obviously employees help, but there's just some parts of your business that only you know how to do. And there's a little bit of control freak in there, but then there's also, you know, it's just true. The business is nuanced. And so you can only take out so much information out of your brain and try and give it to somebody else to kind of get them to do it. And I have had to just fold on some things. You know, there was, when we were packing stuff up, my employee said, you know, hey, do you want me to pack up the stuff that's in the office, the small office at the warehouse? And I had been hesitating or not asking them to do that. And when they asked me, I was just like, yes, I just needed somebody to ask. And I gave up that control. And at first I said, yeah, do everything but my desk area, because my desk area was just such a mess. And I felt embarrassed about it, felt very personal. And then when I went in there after they had packed up everything but my desk, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good in here. I was so impressed. And obviously, not that I didn't trust the person, but then I just realized, Denali, you have to just ask for all the help. And certainly that's something that is not something I have to do, right? Like, I might be embarrassed that it's messy, but I don't have to do that. And so, of course, then I asked, like, hey, could you do my desk also? And I was like, you can literally just take everything and just shove it and put it into a box. And anyway, so they did my desk, and I was so appreciative of that. But there's just been things that I've had to fold on, because ultimately, you know, this move has just been driving me, I would say, to the brink, right? It's been driving me to the brink. Shout out to caffeine. I've got a chai here. I've been drinking some coffee again recently, which I had stopped for a while. Shout out to my therapist for listening to me. Shout out to my friend Tiffany, who is my unpaid therapist, and my friend Liz, who's also my unpaid therapist, aka friends, for listening to me. Shout out to my husband for helping me and also being an unpaid therapist. I'm really grateful for all the things that have been kind of a crutch with me along the way, or yeah, a crutch. Is that the right analogy? It feels like a crutch. They're helping keep me propped up during this time, because it's just been hard. And I wanted to cry a lot. I have cried. One day I just like sat on my couch at home and I cried because I was just so overwhelmed. And I just want to keep it real for you guys as best as I can, because social media is a lot of things, and one thing that it's not all the time is real and authentic. And I just want to tell you that this has just not been the most fun process. I know it will get better. I am an optimistic enough person and a realistic enough person to know that it will be better. This too shall pass. I'll look back at this time 3 months from now, 4 months from now, and be like, oh gosh, I can't even believe I was so, just in a bad headspace at that point, and here I am in a better headspace. I will say, already being in this new unit, just fast forwarding to being in this new unit, despite it still being a little bit crazy inside, I feel happier there. My friend Liz, who does my repairs, she said, we were both just kind of agreeing that it felt lighter. Literally and figuratively. One of the things that, if you watched one of the videos in the past 6 months, you know, that when I was looking for office spaces, having windows was something that was really important to me. And I've got a ton of windows now. And so literally and figuratively, it feels lighter. While I might still have tons of inventory in the unit, it just feels nicer to be in a smaller space. It feels nicer to just have inventory at an arm's reach. In the warehouse, I had to run around to a lot of different places. You know, yeah, it was all under the same roof, but it was a large space. And now I can literally put out my arm in any direction and touch inventory, which might not sound fun to some people. But it's been so nice. I love it so much. I cannot tell you how much I love it. It's crazy. I am excited to eventually, I'm not there yet, get back out there and get sourcing. I think I've still got a little bit longer ahead of me, but man, am I dying to do it. That time will come. It can wait. I still, like I said, I just want to purge. I've never done this big of a purge in the, yikes, 7 years that I've been in business. That's terrible, but it's true. And I highly recommend you do it. If you're not doing it, use me as a case study for get rid of items. Put up the auctions, send items to ThreadUp, take it to consignment places or buy sell trade stores like Plato's Closet, etc., stuff like that. Send it to the real. Move on from your inventory. Just stop romanticizing any part of it, because once you go back and you start doing inventory, there has been stuff in these bins that I've been going through and I look at it and I go, when and where are you from? I have no idea. And that's not great, right? That is not great. So anyways, enough of the yapping. My sandwich is here and I don't have the microwave at the new office, so I need to go eat that before it's an ice cube. Again, just wanted to check in. I hope you all are doing well. If you enjoyed the video, I guess I should say give me a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. I haven't been saying that recently, but I appreciate the engagement and support from you guys in that way. But yeah, hopefully the next video doesn't take forever to film, and I'll give you an office tour update kind of once things are in place here, because yeah, it's been exciting, but it's a mess right now. So anyways, I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.